At Bright Future Financials, we excel in credit restoration, debt consolidation, and educating each individual that comes through our door. Your financial freedom is our top priority. Request your free credit report analysis today.
Everyone knows it's important to build credit, but how do you actually get started building it? Hello, Credit Builder Card. If you think back to your first apartment, there was a security deposit. Credit Builder Card is a secured credit card that requires a refundable deposit, just like that apartment did. To get started, complete the easy application process and fund the $200 deposit through your debit or prepaid card to get your credit line of $200. There's no credit score requirement. Once you receive your card, make a small number of purchases each month on it. You'll receive a monthly bill for the amount you spent, and by paying that bill on time each month, you build positive credit. And while you can't use your deposit to pay your monthly bill, you will get it back when you close your card, so long as your account is paid in full. Sign up with Credit Builder Card and discover the easiest way to build credit.
Imagine how your life would transform with stronger credit. You could get approved for better credit cards, finance that vehicle you've had your eye on, or even purchase the home of your dreams. But building strong credit can be confusing and sometimes difficult. That's because in the past you had to apply for a credit card, hope you're approved, then try to build credit by spending. But what if you could build credit by saving instead of spending? With Credit Strong, now you can. Credit Strong has made building credit stress-free. Now you can establish or build your credit by building savings instead of spending. With no upfront security deposit, no hard credit inquiry or credit score required, and low monthly payments, it's easy to get started. You can apply online 24 hours a day and be approved in just minutes. Credit Strong is a division of an independent community bank that's 5-star rated and FDIC insured, so you know that both your money and personal information are safe and secure. Transform your life with Credit Strong. How does Credit Strong build your credit history and savings at the same time? A Credit Strong account is like a savings plan that builds credit. That's because it's a fusion of an installment loan and an FDIC-insured savings account. When you open a Credit Strong account, we open a savings account in your name and instantly give you a loan. The money from your loan is deposited into your savings account. We place a lock on the savings account to secure the loan. You make small monthly payments of principal and interest on your loan. The principal is like a payment to yourself and pays down the lock on your savings. The interest is what we earn to provide the service. When the loan is repaid in full, we remove the lock on your savings and the money is available to you. Continue growing your savings with regular deposits. As a bank, we report your monthly loan payments directly to the 3 major credit bureaus, building your credit history as you go. We provide a free FICO score monthly so you can track your progress. Building credit by saving has never been easier. Want to learn more? Visit us at www.creditstrong.com.
Hi, everyone. I'm Simona Nichols, CEO of Bright Futures, and we have Miss
Paige Moses with Anchor Realty.
Miranda, CFO at Bright Futures.
So first of all, I just want to say thank you guys for taking some time out this evening to talk about a couple of things that we know you guys are going to be super excited about. Tonight, we're going to cover a few different types of home loans that you guys may be eligible for. We're also going to get into the Hurricane Michael Relief Program, which is really, really good, especially for these 11 counties, which are
Counties A, Franklin, Gulf, Calhoun, Jackson, Washington, Liberty, Wakulla, Gadsen, Holmes, and Taylor.
Yeah, so all 11 of those counties are eligible for this Hurricane Michael Relief Program. So we're definitely going to get into that. The next thing, we're going to talk about some credit scores, answer questions about some items that you guys may be seeing on your credit, how you guys can build credit, especially if you're in that 580 to 630 rate. I believe most of them, the minimum is about 640. So we're going to go over a couple of different trade lines that you guys can apply for. And then we're going to open the floor for any questions for you guys to be able to ask. If you are strictly looking to buy a house right now, if you have questions about it, we'll have the floor open for probably about 10 to 15 minutes. So we'll go ahead and get started with Paige with the home loans.
So if you guys have been thinking about purchasing your first home or a new home, maybe you've been renting for a while and you're ready to be paying your own bill instead of paying that mortgage for someone else, different options that we all have when it comes to home loans. The key 5 that we usually deal with are the first 2 is conventional loans. One is a fixed rate, one is a revolving rate. Conventional loan, the difference is pretty much the interest rate. With a fixed rate loan, you have a steady, non-changing interest rate throughout the life of the loan, whether it's 15 years or 30. And then with an adjustable rate loan, the interest rate will adjust with whatever the average rate is at this time. So sometimes your house payment may be lower, which is a benefit. And then if interest rates are really high right now, your interest rate may be higher, which causes you to pay a higher payment every month. And then we have an FHA loan. And then the benefit FHA loans, it is government. However, it only requires you to pay a 3.5% down payment versus a 20% like we would have with a conventional loan. So that's something that a lot of people can use if they've got their credit good and they're ready to buy a home, but maybe they just haven't been able to put back that 20% for this big purchase. We also have VA loans for our military, which is a wonderful, wonderful program. You can go through a certified VA loan specialist, and a lot of those loans do not require a down payment at all. So that is something really to look forward to if you are ex-military. And then we also have USDA loans. That is also a government-sponsored program. There is limitations for the rural areas that is applied for, and the government funds are up to 100% like the VA loans with no down payments. If you're one of those people that do not qualify for a VA loan or for a USDA loan and you live in the 11 counties that Marina listed, the Hurricane Michael program is a wonderful program that if you fit the qualifications, that can get you up to $15,000 worth of down payment assistance as well as closing cost expenses. The Hurricane Michael Relief Program is for Bay, Franklin, Gulf, Calhoun, Jackson, Washington, Liberty, Wakulla, Gadsen, Holmes, and Taylor. If you are in those 11 counties and you feel like that's a program that you're interested to, you can contact us. We have plenty of information about it. The basics is you need to have steady income for the last 2 years. It does not have to be necessarily the same employer, but you need to go from one job to the other. There is some certain circumstances like Hurricane Michael that may be able to relieve that 2-year factor, but that list is very small and we would have to ask the lender about it. The other thing is you really need to hit that 640 credit score. So if you're around it or close to it, this is a program that you would really want to look into. We need to make sure that your debt income ratio is about a 45%. The lenders also can pull all of that. Some things count, some things doesn't count. So it's always a really good thing to check into that and look and see, does this debt count towards my debt credit ratio or does it not? The other thing is each county has their own median requirement for income, and this is significantly higher than some of the low income programs that are offered. So medium class working families that usually do not apply for government programs really apply for this one. So that's a good thing, that people that make a little bit more money that usually doesn't qualify does qualify. And then the last thing is you need to make sure that if you apply for any of these type of home loans, whether it's the conventional or the FHA or the VA, that you have your materials listed. Like you need a valid driver's license. It doesn't have to be a driver's license. It can be an identification card, but it has to be some form of identification that goes in with these applications. You have to have 2 years worth of W-2s. You need 4 to 6 weeks worth of paycheck stubs to prove your income. And then you'll also need your basic information like your name, your address, your social, to be able to apply for these loans. The good thing about the Hurricane Michael program is even though it's $15,000 of government assistance, it is forgiven, and you do not have to pay any of that back as long as you make this your primary residence for the next 5 years. It does depreciate by 20% every year. So let's say that new job opening comes up, you've got to move, you've got to sell your house. If you've had it 2 years, well, that's $6,000 of that 15 that's been depreciated. So you would only have to pay back 9 of it when you sell the home. But most people, when they buy a home, they're in it for at least 5 years to 10 on average. So most people will never have to pay the 15 back.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for sharing out that. There's going to be a form in the chat that is going to give you guys, especially our local people, if you guys are really, really serious about buying a house, fill out that form. That way you can start working with Paige, and she'll get you guys connected, and hopefully we can get you guys in a house by the end of the year, hopefully. So the next thing we're going to go over is going to be the credit score. So I know some of you guys, your credit score may not be there. So we're going to talk a little bit later about some of the things that Bright Future Financials is willing to do for these 11 counties to make sure that we get you guys in a house. But it all starts with the credit monitoring. So if you're not already, it's very, very important that you are monitoring your credit just to get an idea of where you are. We don't want to waste Paige's time. We don't want to waste your time. So Credit Karma is not a reliable source. So Miranda here, she's going to discuss one of the credit monitoring services that we use. And then I will let you guys know about a debt discount that's going to be available here shortly for you guys as well.
Okay, thank you. I'm really glad that you brought up Credit Karma because I myself use Credit Karma.
I did too.
Yeah,
I did too. Before I got with you guys, I did too, and I did not realize the difference.
I use Credit Karma, and for the longest time, I thought those were my scores. You know what I mean? And so many people that I talk to every day, during the course of my work, they use Credit Karma and don't realize that Credit Karma only reports 2 of the bureaus, so 2 of the 3. They report Equifax and TransUnion, but not Experian. So then, in addition, your scores are typically, I've seen between 50 and 100 point difference from Credit Karma scores to the 3B. So the scores that you need to be looking at, you need to be monitoring are your 3 bureau with TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And we typically recommend a credit monitoring service, either through the bureaus themselves directly or through a third party like Smart Credit, which is who we recommend to all of our clients. They allow you to pull a 1-month full credit bureau report for all 3 bureaus, and they allow you to do 10 refreshes a month. Okay, so we are going to drop some links so that you can follow those, follow the link to Smart Credit and sign up there. I believe that it is $22 a month for the service. And it allows you to not only pull your credit reports and the refreshes, it also allows you to monitor your payments when they're due. Smart Credit has a lot of built-in tools that are necessary. If you're working on credit, if you are looking into purchasing a home, Smart Credit is definitely the way to go. Smart Credit allows you to dispute items directly from their app, so you can download the app on your phone. It also includes a $1 million fraud and identity theft protection. So even though your scores may not be all that attractive right now, As you're working on your scores, as your scores go up, it is going to be more attractive to those who would steal your identity, your information, and would, open accounts in your name. So this is also a great benefit for Smart Credit. And as you're working on your credit, you can report identity theft directly from the app. You can report inaccurate information directly from the app. So there's a lot of interactive tools that are included with Smart Credit. So that's why we recommend it. And I believe that the first month, if you sign up for the first month, you get a free trial. I believe it's $4.99 to sign up. And then after that, it is the $22 per month.
I linked all my credit cards with it when I got it from you guys. I linked all my credit cards with it, my checking accounts, all of those kind of things. And every time a charge come through that was from actually my Amazon stuff, when I told you, I said my stuff got stolen, there's the stuff that came back to me that pinged and said, hey, this has been purchased somewhere that you do not usually be. You need to look at this. And then I looked, and it had been 3 charges that day, which Smart Credit flagged it. And so then I knew I needed a new debit card and those kind of things. So I only was out like $150 that they took from me out of my Amazon account for like a couple hours. Right. And then my bank had it right back. But it's because I called it that quick that they weren't able to just keep charging and charging. It was very quick.
Yeah. And another thing, I'm glad that you mentioned that, is when you link all of your cards to Smart Credit, all of your open accounts, it will actually tell you what your score boost could be each month. So it'll tell you, okay, this is how much you owe on every single card. If you pay this much on every single card, you could see a boost of this. So if you want to see a 30-point increase, you would just move it down the line, and it'll tell you what you need to pay to each card so that you'll see that maximum boost. So Smart Credit is, it's just a simple tool, but it is so effective. So yeah, we definitely recommend it if you're going to be working on your credit, or if you're looking into purchasing a home, and you're going to be getting with Paige here, definitely want to have Smart Credit.
Yeah, and even if, like, say you know that you hit that 640 credit score mark, and you're like, oh, I'm good, it's very much well worth it for the trial, at least for the $4.99, or for, it was what, $22 for the month, even to just go ahead and apply ahead of time, just to spend that $30 to even see, oh, well, that's wrong on there, or that's right. Even though I've got the credit score that I need, you still need to look, because it could be even better. And the better the interest rate is, the better that home loan is going to be over the course of 30 years. Something that was not your fault, not your mistake, or something that a credit card company didn't report or reported inaccurately, just that could cost you thousands of dollars over a 30-year period. So even if you're at the 640 mark, I still recommend just check into it, look at it, take a look at it, see if it works for you, see if you need to clean anything up prior to ever applying for any kind of loan.
And keeping an eye on it. If something does pop up and there is some fraud that you're not aware of yet, this would let you know, hey, you know what I mean? Because otherwise you go to apply for the loan and then you find that your score just dropped 30 points because somebody's. So it's very important to be monitoring if you're not already, and Smart Credit is a great tool to do that. Like I said, Credit Karma is great, but for this situation, it is not what you need.
It doesn't do. Right before we built our house, we did like a cleanup. Let's see what's on it. Let's see what we need to pay down. Where can it get us? Because we qualified for our loan, but I was like, we can have a better interest rate than that. Let's check into it. And we found out that like my spouse is a junior. Well, there was a lot of stuff on his credit report that was actually not him. It was a senior. And so we were like, oh, that's not his home loan. So it looked like his debt to credit ratio was way more than what it was, when that wasn't his mortgage at all. So like those kind of things that were just strictly errors cleaned up and made everything so much better.
And there's so many of them.
There's
so many errors.
There is, on average, I would say probably about 80% of individuals here in the U.S., their credit scores or their credit reports are wrong. They contain a lot of errors. And another thing with this Smart Credit, with the identity fraud policy insurance, it doesn't just cover what you find today. If you are working on your credit, 5 years from now, and you see something and you have this service, it's going to cover past events. So it covers identity fraud instances that you may not even know about. So it really does a lot, and it also covers everyone in your household. So I've seen, if a wife has got her identity stolen, the more likely her husband or even their children. Some people are opening accounts in children's name, and it's going to cover everybody in the house, bank accounts, credit cards. The same thing with Paige when she experienced that with Amazon. If the bank wouldn't have picked it up, she could have called Smart Credit, and they would have submitted a claim and refunded that money back to her. So really good. Thank you for sharing that out, Miranda. So the next thing, we've kind of talked about some home loans. We've mentioned the credit scores, how you can monitor your credit. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is how do you actually build credit, or what if you are, like Paige said, right there on the edge and you need a little boost. So we have a number of different partners that we work with, and we played their commercials before we started. We have the Credit Card Builder. We had Credit Strong, Grow Credit. All of these services, they are amazing. One of them, we actually pay the processing fees for you guys, and they do not pull a credit report. So the last thing that we want you guys to do is to go out and apply for credit cards, because that's what we're always told.
From you. Yep.
You're told that, hey, if you go apply for a credit card, you got to prove your credit score and go. It does. It absolutely does go up. However, there's a high chance that you won't get approved, and then it's going to drop your score. So we're going to also drop a link in the group. So for that form, there is a link that you guys can join that is going to link you to our Facebook group. It's going to be an exclusive group. We share out all this information, discounts, free audits, all of that stuff just for you guys here locally. But you're also going to have a list of all of these things. I know with the Credit Strong account and the Credit Card Builder, most of our clients, when they sign up for it, Credit Card Builder takes about 30 days. You usually see, I would say, about at least a 50-point increase. And then they report 6 times a month. So they make sure to report it accurately every single month so that you're getting credit for that. And then the Grow Credit is literally if you have a Netflix, a Hulu, HBO Go subscription, all you're doing is putting that subscription on a $15 credit limit, and it helps boost your score. It's simple as that. There are so many additional ways that you guys can build your credit or to get you over that 640 if you're kind of stuck. I know a lot of our clients that come, they're stuck between say 600 to about 620, and they're doing everything right, and sometimes it just takes a little boost.
Just need a little push.
Yeah, just a little boost. On average, I would say most clients that have a 700 score, most of them have at least 5 to 7 credit cards on average. Now, when you start looking into, the 800 club, of course, everybody wants to be in the 800 club. Most individuals that are in that 800 to 850, you're talking about 26 to 30 different lines of credit that they're using responsibly. I know for some of us, including myself, when I was probably like 5 years ago, that would have been the best idea because I would have maxed them all out. But if you're serious,
Can't even manage the few we have.
Yeah, it's rough. So yeah, there's a lot of little end things that we've learned about credit that we want to make sure that we share out with you guys, teach you guys, help you guys, especially those of you that are local, that know us and we know you, and our kids play baseball and soccer and all that together. We want to help each other. This grant is out there. Is there a cap for the Hurricane Michael?
As far as the length that the money's going to be available, we do not have like a date. They gave a certain amount of funds, and when the funds are gone, they're gone. So if this is something that you want to participate in, then you really need to start working on getting your stuff together. There was one thing that I forgot to mention about the Hurricane Michael program, and I always tell everyone that's starting to buy a home, regardless of the program or not, you really need at least 2 months of whatever you feel like you're comfortable with your house payment. You need those 2 months in a savings account. And with the Hurricane Michael program, you do not have to use any of those funds whatsoever to pay for this or pay for that. However, when you go through a bank to get a house, you have a survey, you have an appraisal. We always recommend a home inspection because we are not construction builders. We're not inspectors. And so there's things that maybe look perfectly fine to the blind eye, but we need to investigate a little more, and somebody that's professional needs to take a look from top to bottom of every house that my customers buy. So having that little bit of cushion in the bank allows you to be able to pay for those things as you're in the process of buying that house. And then it looks really good to your lenders that you have the ability to save that money. And if you don't spend all of it, great. It just sits there in case for maybe one month you have a hard month, maybe Christmas comes up and you still got to be able to make that house payment. So we always recommend that if you think I can afford a $700 house payment, you need $1,400 in a savings account.
Okay, awesome. So that is really all that we had to share out tonight. This is going to be made available. So if you guys do have comments or anything, questions, you can drop them in the chat now. If not, we are going to post all the links for it to be on the recording. And like I said, fill out that form. If you guys are ready to buy a house, you want to know what you need to do to get ready, let us help you. We're going to be doing some free audits to tell you exactly what we see on your credit and things that you can do on your end to actually improve it and hopefully get you in a house before the end of the year. So any questions, you guys feel free to open up. Good. How you feeling, Paige?
Lovely. I don't do public speaking. No, I'm like,
Dion, do you have the call?
Everybody knows Dion. You just can't help it. All right. So I don't see really any questions coming in. Totally cool. Our information is going to be on the post after. So if you guys have questions or whenever you're ready, you just reach out and we'll be keeping an eye out on those chats. So have a good night.
thank you.
Thanks, guys.